this time, we will call the November 19th Finance Committee meeting to order. After some discussion, our first order of business is we feel there's a need to amend the agenda.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion. Would you want to?
Yeah, I move that we amend the meeting agenda to add an agenda item for the discussion of 2025 Chesterfield County audit with Treasurer Fred Harris. I believe it is appropriate to do this amendment because the deadline's approaching for our Treasurer's Office led by Fred Harris to submit documentation to the county's auditors, and it is apparent that the deadline will not be met.
So we have a motion.
Yes, Chair Smallwood, I believe this motion is appropriate given the time-sensitive nature of the Treasurer's Office responsibilities of submitting documentation for the 2025 Chesterfield County audit. And I believe exigent circumstances exist that would justify this amendment to the agenda. Is there a second?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ford, second by Mr. McClendon. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
And just as a technical matter, we're going to add this as item 5A. It will read Chesterfield County 2025 audit dash Treasurer Harris. Item 6A will be executive session. Item 7 will be adjournment.
We've now amended the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ford. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McClendon. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Next on the list is the approval of minutes from the August 18th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ford, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. McClendon. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. I don't see any public here, so we're going to kind of go right on by the public comments. All right, so we are now down to the amended 5A. Mr. Harris, thanks for joining us this morning. Just to kind of lay it out there for those that might be listening to this meeting later, every year, at the end of our fiscal year, the Treasurer's Office has to do a reconciliation of the tax account, which has to be turned into our auditors for them to do their job, give our stat report back so we can turn it over to the state, make sure I don't miss anything.
That's correct.
To keep us in compliance with state regulations. In light of some changes of employment status in your office, mainly the individual that's working on that report, we just kind of wanted to ask you some questions this morning, and I'd like to start with with this individual leaving. What's your plan to have this report completed by the end of November?
I've spoken, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, to the accounting firm in Camden that helped us a couple of years ago. And y'all have an extra bottle of water? My mouth's really dry. Sorry.
Can you pull that mic closer to you so we can hear you?
I'll have to get a little water. I don't think y'all need any microphone, but yes, sir. I've spoken to them. I'm drawing a blank. Tracy, I've talked to Tracy and Shane, and they can be here immediately after Thanksgiving to help us with finish the audit, as well as, I don't know how to put it. We've had ongoing issues ever since Jennifer White left, who was and she'd been here for 20-something years through Kathy Sheeler and Mr. Sowell. And we've tried to modernize the bookkeeping in our office, and it's really been a struggle because we've gone through 2 bookkeepers now, 2 software systems, and trying to tie it in with QS1, the accounting, the software system that ties the assessor, the auditor, and treasurer together. And it's been difficult. I'm not an accountant. I'm certainly not a software expert, but after going through all this and talking to the other treasurers here in recent weeks, I found 2 treasurer's offices that do the same thing we do. Every county's different, where they're set up. We've got, some of them have different, accounting software, of course, and then they also have different tax software. And I found 2 that are willing to work with us. And going forward, whenever I hire whoever we're going to hire. And so I've got 2 good places for them to train, as well as Shane and Tracy. But can't remember where I was going with that, but that's who I'm getting to come in. And then they'll be here December 1st or 2nd. She was going to let me know early part of next week.
Last time we did that was 2023
Yeah.
or 2024.
Right.
But that
That's when-
cost us $20,000. So
Right, when
how are you
Ra-
gonna pay for it this
When
year?
Rachel, that's a good question. I certainly don't have it in my budget, but it's got to get done, and I don't think Allison has left it as bad as Rachel did. She's back there right now working on it. Rachel really had a mess, and I feel like, I really feel confident that Allison has left it much, much better than what she's leaving them, and not just flying out the door with a mess.
Do you have a quote from Camden as to what that's gonna cost?
Not yet. She's working on that too. She's currently in an audit for another county.
So only one person was able to do this job? The person that you have now? There's nobody else that can
No,
step
I
in and
mean,
do it?
never has been. Jennifer was the only one that did it when, and
But I thought y'all were gonna cross-train.
we were tried, but the woman I had working with her some, she's gone. And,
But you were gonna cross-train too.
yeah, I got to be on some serious medication to sit there for 8 hours staring at a computer screen with numbers. I'm sorry, I'm just not built that way. She tried, and I was making too many mistakes in data entry.
Is there any scenario that you're aware of that we can get this report done and to the auditors at the requested end of December so that we can be compliant with the state and not
I
have
feel
to?
confident that Tracy and Shane working together with it can,
Well,
Allison has
my
told
question,
me-
is there any scenario where it doesn't cost us 20,000 plus whatever it would be this round for that firm out of Camden? I mean, that's on the back of the taxpayer and it's not their fault.
right, I understand.
Is there any scenario where you see we can get this done and be compliant by December 31st without subcontracting this out?
No, sir. Not unless Allison's gonna stay. I don't think she's,
Mr. Harris,
talk to her one more time. I've got some other ideas for Allison as well but anyway, I'm sorry.
Mr. Harris, by all means, don't take this personal at all. It's-
I won't.
It's just business. I know when I came on council 3 years ago, this was already an issue that had been not just discussed, but I think it was a very big topic when I came on council. And it seems like every year that I've been on council, that this has been a ongoing problem as well. And when I look at how important this is, I mean, this is basically the cash register for the county. And there's a lot of stuff that depends on what your office does. So I'm really frustrated that instead of making improvements, we're in the same spot that we were several years ago. And it only comes back to leadership at the end of the day. The buck stops, with
I
leadership.
take full responsibility for it.
That's right, that's right. So I think there's been an issue with money that got missing out of the petty cash. And now we don't have anyone in the office that can do what this employee that's leaving is doing. And here we are again, looking at putting another burden on the back of the taxpayers. So my question for you is this, in your professional position, do you feel like that this is something that you would need to address with yourself as far as being able to do the job? Or what can we do to make this better? Because, I mean, I feel like that every time something comes up, you come humbly and talk about it and everything, but nothing ever changes.
Yes, sir.
And I feel like that maybe part of what's going on with the reason why we're losing the only employee that we have that can do the job is some leadership concerns inside, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I just don't know how we keep continuing this cycle.
That's a good question, and I take full responsibility, but I do feel better at this time, because I feel like the problems that Rachel had when it got her frustrated and she left because she was overwhelmed, and some of what Allison's going through with these interface between the QS1 and the Harris software that does the general ledger, they're having issues, and we right before Allison gave me her notice, we had QS1, they had some things we didn't even know about that other counties use. We were like, you know, Kathy, I mean, my predecessor didn't use it. We didn't even know they existed until about 2 months ago, and then we're trying to get them in to do the proper training to get these two interface, because that's a lot of her frustration right now, is because when I put the cash that was this petty cash literally in the gun safe, I put all that in the bank. Open a petty cash account, get all that out of the bank. Should have done that when I got here. And now it sounds simple, but just doing a simple entry over and short at the end of the day has created some major problems. And that's why we're trying to work through with QS1 to get it integrated with our software so we can get it on the general ledger, as well as some other issues with QS1 and Harris. And, but I feel confident going forward if I can get the right person. That's key, getting the right person. And then there's going to be some other changes in the office. So my goal since I got here, that back office, if y'all been in our office, where Allison sits, and currently Jackie sits, she makes up the deposits. Allison does the check writing, the bookkeeping, and balancing. These two need to be meshed together, and Jackie unfortunately doesn't have any computer skills much to speak of. And that's going to be addressed and get.
Mr. Chairman, I have one question. Is it a foregone conclusion that Ms. Allison is gone?
No, sir, I mean, that's what I was just looking at.
Anything that we can do?
Michelle, I mean, I'm going to talk to her one last time. I got one.
So,
Let me interrupt real quick.
on matters of personnel, though, let's be careful how we walk across that. Some of that's got to be handled when we go into executive session. So, I mean, there's certain
Right.
things you can say, but just,
But yeah,
we're going into executive session after this part.
I've got a good plan for it, because my goal was to always have somebody backed up, because Jennifer, who was wonderful, she'd been here for 20-something years. And I knew when she left, I was going to have a problem. But Rachel, we all agreed at the time, was going to be an excellent.
Just that what I'm hearing, if you can keep this individual there, then it seems to me like it resolves most of your problem. Because her leaving is creating a problem. Based on what you said, she know what to do.
We're gonna talk.
I got
Price, go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How many individuals do you have working in your office?
But we have 4 on the treasurer's side and 2 in the delinquent tax collector's
How
side.
long have those employees been there?
Let's see, Jackie,
Are they over a year, over 2 years?
oh, yes, sir. Everybody's been there over two.
So would you agree
Allison's been
that,
there a little over.
would you agree that cross-training probably was a good idea
Yes, sir.
based on the fact that we know that only one employee knew the job and they've been there for a lot of years, right? So if I were in your shoes, I probably would have looked at that and maybe saw that something could happen with that and had someone ready.
It has definitely crossed my mind, but there's no one in the office that had the computer / bookkeeping
Unfortunately,
abilities.
I don't think that's the taxpayer's problem.
Right.
I hate to say it like that, and I hope you don't take it that way either, but the taxpayer don't care who can do what. The taxpayer cares if they're gonna have to pay $20,000 for an audit that we could have stopped by having someone cross-train years ago.
I think that's where I was going with it.
Yeah.
And that's my frustration, and it's not personal at
Oh,
all.
no, I don't-
Because
I'm
you're an
not-
elected official, just like all of us, and we
Yeah.
are definitely better together. We want your office to be successful, very much so. The frustration for me just comes because we were promised when this happened last time, when we paid the $20,000, that it was not gonna happen again, that whatever needed to be done was gonna be done, we're gonna cross-train. And now we're in November, and we're finding out that we're not gonna make it this year. There's no way we're gonna make it, so the money's gonna have to come from somewhere. And even though we are all elected officials and your office is certainly, its own entity, they look at us and say, the public looks at us and says, where's that money gonna come from? Why does it have to come from me when it wasn't our fault, And so that's my frustration, and it's absolutely not personal. I just feel like you owe it to all of us to get it right.
I think it, not just us. I think we owe it to the county,
That's what I
to the
mean by us,
constituents.
all of us.
I mean, that's a hard conversation to have when you tell people we're having to pay that money because a certain office just didn't get it done. I mean, that's just the bottom line. It doesn't sound like it's gonna get done, That's the reason I was wondering how long your employees have been there, how long have you known that, you only have one person that can do the job kind of thing?
Well, we hire people for, when the entry, there's three of them are mainly clerks, wait
Yeah.
on the counter,
Yeah.
drive-through, process mail, which I do all that this time of year too. I'm not just sitting there. I'm answering the phone, processing mail for payments, running the drive-through. It gets pretty busy in there. And,
Is it busy
Normally-
year-round?
sir,
Is it busy year-round, or is it seasonal?
from the time the tax bills go out and right before in the September through February, it's pretty crazy. And then it kind of dies off, and then you got the end of the month crowd every year. I mean, every month. And then you got certain deadlines for the tax sale that get real busy,
How would you explain that to the taxpayers?
just like I'm doing right now. I mean,
Just
we-
say it was just one of them things that happened and,
Well, I mean, what I'm saying, we hire people at different pay grades, and when I first came here, the pay grade was about $12 for a clerk. And you're not gonna find anybody at $12 an hour that can cross-train and be an accountant and run all this software.
No.
If I did, I'd be extremely lucky.
no, you won't find anybody.
I mean, the pay has gotten a lot better, by the way. Thank y'all, the clerks and everybody, pay is a lot better. But when the ones that we have now were hired, they were hired, to be a clerk, which is a much different level of responsibility and skills than the bookkeeper or the backup, or not the backup, but the deposit clerk. And of course, Carmen, the delinquent tax collector, is at a much higher grade, and is working right now hard to do what she can to help with this situation also. Morning.
Not yet, we're getting ready to go, though.
I guess I'll kind of finish up my little thing with this. From a business perspective and from more of a leadership perspective on something, I think year one into something, there's grace. Maybe year two into something, there's grace. But at this point in your office, I don't know any other entity that would continue to allow the same problem over and over and over and over again, and here we are all these years later, and we're still having the same problem. And so, in all humbleness, I want to challenge you to consider where you stand in the ability to be able to lead that department and do what needs to be done. And I say that in all humbleness, but I think that's the reality, that here we are now, we don't have a solution. We're gonna have to go back on the back of the taxpayers for more money to be able to do the job that you were elected to do. And I think that's something that you need to dig deep in and see if you really believe that that's something that's right.
I've done a lot of self-reflection. I feel pretty confident right now going forward. It's going to be ugly in the short term, but I feel like we're going to get that back office straight finally, if we can find the right person. Ironically, I was looking through a magazine last night, one of the association magazine, and one of the articles was about rural counties finding financial people to work. And I think county's been blessed to have Michelle and now Heather working on their end. If I can just find a Michelle or Heather or Jennifer, again, you know, most of my problem would be solved, a lot of it anyway. But,
Well, we appreciate your time this morning, Mr. Harris.
Yes, sir.
We got to go to executive session, so we'll wrap this up. I'd like to kind of just close out personally by saying that, you know, that's, in all due respect, we don't have any control over how you manage your department. We root for you. We'd love to sit back and watch it run as efficiently as anything in this county. I think you understand the frustration from us comes where it's not our fault, but it's our problem.
I understand.
When it becomes a problem. And it becomes our problem both physically, and financially. And that's not fair to the taxpayer, really. So I encourage and implore you, please, let's whatever it takes between now and this time next year, reconciliation monthly, not annually, whatever we've got to do, cross-train, find the right people. We're at that point.
yes, sir.
I've been here 3 years, and it's been a topic of conversation my entire 3 years. And with that, I'll close. But there is a need to go into executive session. Mr. Bryant, would you?
Yes, pursuant to South Carolina Code, Section 3470A1, the committee will now enter into executive session for the discussion of employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, or release of an employee or employees relating to the treasurer's office. The committee may take action by voting upon the matter referenced in Agenda 6A after exiting executive session.
So we need to go into executive session. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ford, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. McLennan. Any discussion? All right, we are now in executive session. Executive session. Executive session, no motions were made, no motion passed.
You can tell that.
He just don't know.
It just been started, I know.
No, it's been 3 years.
All right, hey, Johnny, don't go nowhere. We're not done yet. We'll adjourn in just a second. Did I say don't go nowhere? Don't go anywhere. I sounded like I was talking to my kids. Don't go nowhere.
You saying it right.
All right. All right, so,
Another meeting, don't go anywhere.
the completion of executive session. Any final business we need to discuss?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion.
Motion for?
I'd like to make a motion that the committee make a recommendation to full council at the next council meeting that we request a full forensic audit throughout our treasurer's office, along with somebody from the state treasurer's office and SLED to be at the table for concerns of inconsistency and missing money.
We have a motion made. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
No, sir.
Motion by Mr. Ford, second by Mr. McClendon. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Everybody good with what, got the motion down? All right. With that, is that the conclusion of our business? for
Make a motion to
Finance Committee?
adjourn.
We have a motion second.
Second.
Adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.